Hello everyone, greetings Earthlings, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the first video I've filmed by myself in years, so I apologize if anything sounds awkward or forced because I feel awkward and forced. So in this video I am directly copying my sister Ren. I am stealing her idea outright and I am showing all my old customs. Now, fair warning, some of these are disgusting, and not just because they were badly made. It's a gore warning and horror warning, so put a time or something you can skip to where I show the non-horrific ones. Unfortunately, one of my very first customs I don't have anymore because I'd given it as a gift to my mom, and she packed it away in the attic, and I don't know where it is, otherwise I'd get it for this video. The oldest custom I have currently, I think it was my first one? One of my first customs is this pig. If I remember correctly, I think I used like some really old acrylic paint and nail polish to just paint decorations on this pig. And if you look closely at it, you can see a bunch of bite marks because my late dog got it when he was a puppy and chewed on it. So this one I actually remade an even older one, but I used the same base. If I can find a picture of the original, I'll put it on the screen. This was inspired by those stuffed animals. I think they're called skull animals or something. Just plain black. And I painted on a skeleton. And before I painted this one, someone used a marker to color a heart on its face, and so it has soaked through the paint somehow. So, this next one has a bit of a story. Some of you may recognize it as the Magic Motion monkey. Me, my sister, and my cousin. I can't remember how old we were, but for some reason we decided that this monkey was too ugly to exist, and we ripped off its arms and tail and like stomped on it in the yard and stuff. I don't know why, but so I turned it into this like zombie abomination thing because I didn't want to throw it away. You know, here's a little comparison because I have a new monkey since then. When you press it, it like, I don't know, pokes itself in the eye with the banana. That's what this one used to look like. I don't even know what inspired this one. I just ripped the head off because it had a problem with its neck peg, and I made it into this. This one of my cousins actually ripped the head off when we were little. He says it was an accident, but to this day I still don't know if it's true or not. I painted it brown and gave it a neck stick. I don't know. These two are kind of a set I made. I can't remember which one's which, but their names are Marty and Ed, and they're like homicidal hamsters, I guess. This, not much to say about it. I covered its face in clay and hot glue, and it's a cyclops. This is supposed to be like a lab rat. I like cut a groove in his neck to make it look like it was strangled. I swear, I'm not a psychopath. I should have shown this one first. It's one of my older horror customs. It's like a banshee, and this was an authentic pet. One of those ones with the hair. I glued it down best I could without making it crusty to make it look like, I guess, like an old lady banshee. Not much to say about this one. Pretty self-explanatory, except I'm not sure what the reasoning was behind putting that wire over the eye. I guess just to be creepy. I don't know. Peg leg. I just like to save screws from things, I guess. I literally made it just to make a pun. His name is Screw Up. Get it? Because he's full of screws. So this one I actually still like. It was another one of those cats with the hair that I glued down. And I just like chopped these holes in it with a pocket knife. I didn't even have X-Acto knives back then. I cut myself on so many pocket knives. He used to have a knife that I made that fit inside the cuts, and I would just kind of stick it in there sometimes, but I lost it. So this one was supposed to be like a billionaire's wife who went completely insane and like killed him or something. Hence the guts. Yeah, this one I actually kind of like the way I did the running eye makeup. Definitely won't appear in your nightmares. This was actually kind of cute almost. It's supposed to be like a possessed rag doll. Some kind of doll that like killed the kid that owned it. Ain't she sweet? I really liked my red paint back then. I have to zoom out for this one. I can't remember what inspired this. I don't know. It barely stands. But yeah, here it is. I forgot to say this at the beginning, but a lot of my old customs, the horror ones, were inspired by death metal. There's this one, I can't remember the name, but it's by the Black Dahlia Murder. Look them up, I don't know. Listen to some horrifying lyrics. This is probably one of the better zombie-ish ones I made. It's got a brain, all that fun stuff. My dog had actually stolen this base, and that's why the ear was coming off, and so I decided to give it stitches. This was inspired by the song Disasterology by Pierce the Veil. I'm not really sure why it inspired this, but it did. Okay, this one is probably the grossest one I made. Yeah. It's like undead roadkill. I'm pretty sure that was the reasoning behind it. Got all this stuff, intestines. Look, it's spaghetti! This one's actually really old. You can probably tell by the chunky paint and all the dust that's stuck in it permanently now because it got really sticky. This thing is disgusting. But I'm showing it last because I actually remade it. And here's the remake of it. I really liked the design, but not the execution. I sculpted that mouth and like painted the inside of the head black so you really can't see anything besides the chains going in. And I like wrapped it around. It looks kind of cool when it's walking. And that's it for the horror customs. Now on to the more cool and cuter ones. This one's pretty self-explanatory. Galaxy Swan. I went through a phase of using tons of metallic paint, which is what this is covered in. I tried to sell it forever. No one bought it. I ended up keeping it. It's actually not bad, considering how long ago I made it. This one I actually made as a gift for my sister a long time ago. It's an alien short hair. I don't remember what inspired it. I like that mouth. The teeth. I actually made little pets for it. Blobs of air dry clay. There used to be a third one, but it got lost. Again, with the metallic paint. It's almost cool, but it's like blinding. Because a lot of my old customs I sealed with varnish, so they're like extremely shiny and horrible to look at on camera. A decent amount of sculpting on this one. Probably the most hair I had sculpted at the time. This was my first ever resin eyes. They're almost cool, but they're a little bit gross. And again, metallic paint. Okay, this one is pretty bad. Not necessarily badly made, but the design is obnoxious. It was kind of on purpose. It's a squirrel fairy, and I used a lot of glitter. Just a lot of glitter. I mixed it with varnish and kind of like painted it on, sculpted those antennas, the wings. It's kind of cute, but it's a little bit too shiny. So this one has a bit of a backstory. A long time ago, my sister and I had written like a futuristic based story and made a lot of customs for it. We were gonna make it into a video series, but ended up not. So we still have all the characters we made, and this was one of them. Her name is Penelope, I'm pretty sure. Her eyes are from parts that I took out of a cell phone. That's actually 2 cell phone cameras, and you can't really see it on camera, but there's a tiny bit of circuit board inside the head. You can really only see it in person though. So I gave her like cybernetic eyes pretty much. There's the switch to turn them on. The switch wasn't from a cell phone though. The paint job is decent. Obviously the focus of this custom was the eyes. Again with the glitter varnish. Just this little demon rabbit. Sculpted the horns and the tail and the eyebrows. It's a little alien mouse. I sculpted all these little spines and a curly tail. It's kind of cute, actually. I still like him. He's pretty well made. It's just the sealant I used made everything so shiny, it kind of takes away from the paint job. This is the Heath Ledger Joker. Favorite Joker, best Joker in my opinion. You can't change my mind. This, at the time, was the most sculpting I had ever done on a custom. I sculpted his, like, eyebrow area. I'm not sure how well it shows on camera, but I also sculpted his scars, his suit coat, and obviously his hair. This hair had taken me so long. Honestly, still one of my favorite customs I've ever made. I really like this one still. He's a bit chunky. I could make him better, but I'm still pretty proud of it. Okay, last one. This one is probably one of the more complicated ones I've made. She's got a bit of a story. She's another character from our series we had made, or written. I can't remember her name, unfortunately. Her eyes, there's a bit of a gradient in there, and there's like some color shifting paint. I used metallic again on her hair. This leg, I completely made this leg by myself. I think I made it out of pieces of jewelry, that's what these things are, and then a screw was the base, and it's actually removable. She's got a gun. I made her a ray gun in the story. She has like this super strong robot arm that she can switch out with her ray gun. I'm gonna switch him out to show you. Here's what it looks like off. And the gun, you could just kind of stick it in. This was a piece of a flashlight. This was a piece from a model bicycle. This was a cap from something, I think. This is actually a tiny little light bulb I took out of a circuit. And these are a bunch of capacitors that I glued together, and then I painted everything. I'm still pretty proud of this. It's obviously can be painted better, but I had a lot of fun designing this thing. I think I'm probably going to remake her in the future too. So that's all for now. I have more customs that are a bit newer than those, but still old. So I'll be making a part 2 in the future. Thank you for watching. If you want to comment which one was your favorite, I'd be interested to see which ones people like the most. I'll see you in my next video. And yeah, bye bye.